Backpack Broadcasting continues to bring you the best original sports content, but now you can get more of the content you love. For as little as $3 a month, you can get access to bonus content, including behind-the-scenes footage and interviews from the Sports Walk, Sideline Stories, or the Ain't Hard to Tell podcast. All this exclusive content comes via Patreon. There are tiered levels of patronage, and each Backpack Broadcasting patron receives exclusive perks. Your support helps Backpack Broadcasting create more of the original content that you love. Visit Backpack Broadcasting's Patreon page and become a patron today.
Hi, this is Howard Beck from Bleacher Report. You are watching the Ain't Hard to Tell podcast.
Ain't Hard to Tell podcast, episode 46. Dexter Henry, Brian Fonseca, and for the first time, it's the first time we're doing this.
Yeah.
We have two guests with us. Two. Yeah, y'all should feel special right now.
I do.
I do?
I do.
All right.
I'm not gonna hold you.
Two guests. Our guests are, and they're not New Yorkers, although they live in New York. They're out of towners.
We accept them.
Transplants.
Transplants. The word transplant's better, right? It's a little more friendly.
You were out of town. They'd be like, "Hey, you gonna chill with the tone
like
on that."
disrespect, right?
Right?
Like, I'm an honorary New Yorker because I went out shopping on Black Friday years ago. Okay,
That's all it takes now?
that's all it takes, bro.
Oh,
Yeah.
But they was in the Bronx too. They was like, "Oh, you're an honorary New Yorker." I'm like, "Okay, you the essence of New York." Yes.
So you
okay.
got that respect. All right.
you go.
Definitely.
Our guests are Melvin Taylor. He's the host of The Alternative with Melvin Taylor, and he's also a writer for Respect Magazine and a YouTuber.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And Kyle D. Johnson, and we got to put the D because you got to make the common names, you got to make it known that it's correct.
That's right.
He is the owner of KDJ Perspective. What's up, guys, man? Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you for having us, man. We
I
appreciate
appreciate
it.
you, man. Thank you.
Thank you.
Let me tell y'all how this came together. So I met Melvin last summer
Hey.
at a fight of all places. Because I
Man.
don't think you even cover boxing like that.
Honestly, I really don't. I just wanted to see, because my family from Cincinnati, so
Yeah.
I was like, I want to see Adrian Broner fight one day. Like, that'd be dope.
Which
Yeah.
which Broner fight was this?
Adrian Broner versus Mikey
Garcia.
Garcia.
Yeah.
So you know he took that L.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Terrell
Nah,
Miller
it's
was on the
kinda tight.
undercard too.
kinda
Yeah,
So,
I was
yeah.
an Adrian Broner fan, but that's
So-
a whole other story.
Yeah. So we met there. We kept in contact, and then Kyle, we met at Big 3.
Yeah.
Ice Cube was performing.
Yep.
And
I
UFC
picked
with
all
that
the
crip
songs.
walk.
I was like, yo, I can't wait.
I was so hyped. You
Can't
understand?
wait.
Yeah.
I caught Dub C's feet, and I actually shot just that. It was like, it's the most iconic thing in hip hop. I equate
stop.
that to like the first blunt that Snoop Dogg lights up in the morning. If I'm able to capture that moment,
Oh my god.
like it's iconic.
It's incredible.
iconic.
It's
I got the
incredible.
feet of Dub C. Like, stop
You
playing
have
with
it.
me,
Well,
bro.
what happened?
I have
What happened with
gold.
that footage? Like what?
Oh, he got it.
Oh, it's on my IG at King Kyle 1500.
I like
You know what I mean?
I
I'm
like
just
that
saying. I mean,
promotion.
I don't
Go
know
ahead,
if that's
hit
the
that.
right thing to do,
Go
but
ahead, hit
I'm
that.
gonna definitely
Oh, but
say
we're-
it.
yeah.
You know, that's
yeah.
on KDJ Perspectives.
Yeah.
You know, IG page. But yeah, no, we caught some iconic things that day, man.
I was
we
just
was-
making
so-
sure it was out there. I just
Yeah,
wanted to know it was
so
out
so we was talking, and
That's
I
why
was
you the
like,
man.
so we was talking that I did your show,
Right.
I did you guys' show, the
Right.
Alternative of Melvin Taylor. Then I was like, yo, they got to come on the Ain't Hard to Tell podcast together. So
Yes,
I told
got to.
Dexter, and I was
Got
like,
to.
yeah.
That's how
full
he
vibe.
said it. He literally said that to me. He
I
was
was
like,
like,
"Yo, they
together.
have to come together."
They have to
It's a
be
full
here
vibe.
at the same time. One of the
He said that. I thought he was just going to invite Melvin. I was like, cool, I'll come with the camera. He was like, nah, both of y'all together.
no, y'all talking.
I was like, bro, I'm behind the camera. I'll make people look good. He was like, no, you gonna bring you and the fro. I was like, that.
He said you bring the energy behind the camera, and it could be in front of the
You
camera.
got
There you
I'm
go.
like, yo,
There you go. That's Kyle.
too much charisma to only be behind the camera.
100%.
You know what I mean?
100%.
never
There be
knew this,
times where
brother.
I'll be like, if I do a solo show and me and him would just be talking in studio while I'm on air, and I'm like, yo, just get on the mic real fast so we can just have a conversation on the mic because people can't hear you from
Yeah,
back
he's
there.
like all the way over there.
I be
Yeah.
mad opinionated too in the back.
He do.
He was
He
talking
do.
about
Why you gonna say that?
He do. Like, no, say how you really feel. I'm like,
That's
hey,
what I'm
man,
saying.
come on.
Be real with the people.
What
Like,
you
it's,
doing?
that's me.
I am being
See,
real.
so now you get to be here and on the camera. People don't have to like
Man.
worry about not hearing you because you're right here on the mic.
I appreciate it. I think I sound good. I think. Let me
There
see.
you go.
I think you
See,
do.
you got the smooth
You got
jazz
it.
voice. Let me see if
You
I
got
can.
no. Both of you guys have a voice for late night radio.
Oh, we appreciate that.
Yeah.
Well, Melvin's show is
Yeah,
I
actually.
know. I was just about to say that. Melvin's show is on the late night.
That
You got like
late
the
night
old
radio.
school
You need that quiet
classic
storm
jazz
in your
quiet
life. I
storm.
got you.
There you go. You got
I'll
the
just
quiet
put the
storm
shades
voice.
on if you're watching on YouTube.
Yeah, you should. And then Kim comes on like I promised to love.
Oh my God.
Promise to love.
God.
You
better
come
watch
on
your aunties
smooth,
out there.
Quiet start. Come on now.
Hey, y'all,
Ain't nothing wrong with no
y'all,
auntie
y'all
love.
might have to switch up the format of the show.
Hey,
I'm just
we never
saying.
know. We
I
might
mean,
have
I'm
to.
saying keep doing what
We'll
you're
see.
doing.
It's open.
I mean, are they
It's
banned?
open.
Yo, Dex, you want me
It
to
always
get
comes
you?
down
Where
to
the
that.
Come on.
Dex, you want me to get you annoyed real quick? One of the
Why?
questions that Kyle asked at Barclay Center,
Oh.
he was like, "Yo, I don't remember
He
what."
finna
I
throw
know
me
where
under
we
the
going.
bust.
Wait, this is at
Blah, blah, blah,
this
At
is
the Big Three
Big
event.
Three.
We was,
I know
we
where
was
we
in the
going.
we was in the meeting room. We was just talking. He's like, "Yo, what's Freddie Gibbs' deal? I need to listen to that dude, or whatever, something like that." He said.
Hit, bro.
Wait.
He didn't know me
wait,
though.
Wait.
He didn't know.
That's okay. That's
I'm
what I
like, it's gonna
wanted
be our
to
first
know.
fight?
And what
Like,
I no.
Oh.
This is what I found interesting.
Wait!
I was like, yo, did he sell you on Freddie Gibbs? Because he has a thing of doing that.
I didn't say
Yo,
a word.
it was
I had
like
the
his
ESGN hat.
He explained it to me like that's his favorite uncle. Like he was like he said clear out the room.
It might be a little more than
It
that.
was one of those
Relax,
things where he
relax.
was like, "What's Freddie Gibbs' deal?" And I was like, "This is the guy you need to speak to.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
brought
this is the dude.
Here is Brian.
brought
Go ahead and have this conversation."
Yes, because Brian knows.
He knew when his underground was. He knew when his first words had came. His,
Yep.
his second mama's cousin.
Yep.
All
Everybody.
Sounds accurate to me.
that. On
Everybody.
Thursdays, he likes blueberries for lunch. I'm like, with pancakes, bro? Like with butter
You
on
do.
it.
You
Like,
just gotta flip them twice.
He knows a
and
little. He
serve.
knows a little too much.
he flipped the pancakes like he did the crack. I'm like, oh, all right.
Can we?
And he transitions. He used to be a drug dealer. I'm like, oh.
None of this actually happened.
No,
by the way.
Okay.
This is
now-
how I
see,
interpret things.
I was just about
Allegedly.
to say he didn't deny it, but then he did. All right, go ahead, Brian. I'm
Allegedly.
sorry. So
That was really it. You know
Go ahead.
You know what discussion I want to bring up, because we were talking about this when we finished the alternative that day, because this is right after, not long after we had the podcast, Dexter, about useless animals. And we were talking about the mice and the flies in the apartment.
the rats.
Because
The rats,
because y'all had to get acquainted to New York, because, again, for those listening, Melvin's from Chicago, Kyle's
Yeah.
from Philly.
Yeah.
So that experience of just getting acquainted with, the animals, the useless animals that we have in New York
it's not
City.
an animal, bro. It's the
It's ridiculous.
by far a New York rat is the most disgusting species ever to exist on this earth. Do you understand?
co-signing that.
They
Do you
ruthless.
all the
understand?
way.
All right, so
They're
listen.
ruthless.
So pigs, they like to stay in mud, right?
Yep.
Mud is something that's sent from God.
Preach.
Dirt and water, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they do their thing. You're trifling. Got it. Rats were able to survive in New York subways where we don't even know what germs exist. Scientists have went down into New York subway and said, we don't even know what this is.
Like, bro, I
And they're
have no
able to
clue.
survive every single day. And they get 10,000 tons like rolling across on top of them. And they survive
fine.
every day.
They fine.
They
fine.
used to be light gray.
They fine.
They're like this.
They
They're like this
They
color
dark.
now.
They
and they survive
12:45 midnight
every
at this point in time.
day, bro. Every day.
Wait, I can't tell whether you're fascinated by them, impressed by their
No,
survival.
It's
No,
a
you know
little,
what-
it's a
you know
little
what-
mix of both.
Because
Okay.
they survive through everything.
Gotta chill,
Like,
think about it.
God can come through and just
By the
wipe.
rat?
Yeah, yes. God can come through and wipe us all out. The rat gonna lay low,
And come back out and be like,
and
I'm
he's gonna
still
meet,
here.
and he's gonna meet the next generation, bro. And understanding that these things are near me and they can like go across my feet and all that. Like
Yeah.
Oh,
We got to. Did we share this on the podcast? The
we
story?
shared this on the podcast.
they be doing double dutch and all that on the platform now. How do you even get
It
to the
don't
top?
make sense. It don't
How do you
make
go from the
sense.
railroads to the top?
But
And
the evolution is amazing, man.
I don't
They're
need
surviving
that
out
in
here,
my
but they're-
life.
I
What,
can't-
what's
I can't
no,
stand
no.
them.
Remember
I'm
the
definitely
point.
afraid
I
of
think the point that you said was that the one thing that bothers you is that if you trying to catch something and you're faster than it, cool. But once it
Yes.
starts moving faster than you,
Then
you
you
like
freak
we
out.
got an
Because
issue now.
I'm already
Hold
fast.
on.
Like if you're all the way on the other platform, okay, I can see you. But all of a sudden he start moving. I'm like, hold on, he could be right in front of my face. By the time I'm thinking this, you're already on my thigh. Like I'm bugging.
You run a 40 times
I'm
faster than
bugging.
Deion Sanders. We got an issue, bro.
Yeah.
The rat. Look, the
Like
rats.
they're
the
running
rats
a
in New York,
3.5 anytime.
I told you about the big
They're
rat
not to be
that
messed with.
I told you about the Puerto Rican Day Parade after we were shooting that piece, La Cultura, the Puerto Rican boxing story. I had to plug that. And we were standing on the platform. And
remember this. Okay.
Dexter, you were standing by. You don't even want to remember.
Dex like no.
I don't want to remember. and to go to Kyle's point, the speed on this rat was
That's what I'm
crazy.
saying, bro.
Oh, it was crazy.
They got
He
like
was-
the fastest hands, the fastest feet.
He was just standing there.
just
We were
standing
just
there.
talking. He looked down. He was like, oh. And then I looked down. I was like, what happened? And it's jumping over my foot.
Already, it was like that.
And then
2.5
it went
seconds.
all the way to the end of the
God.
platform. It was a big rat. It was like the size of my forearm.
Yo, the rats here are just kittens or squirrels. Like I'm scared of squirrels now in New York because I think that they're rats.
They move like rats.
The way that
Well,
the way
they're
that
rodent-
rats
they're on the
act
rodent
here
family.
are the way
Yeah.
that squirrels act in Chicago.
That's mad ignorant.
Wait,
It's-
squirrels get in your house?
Oh my God, they be ridiculous.
So y'all are not here for the useless animals too.
I'm not.
You're not here for the useless.
I had enough of that in college, so I'm good.
All right, well, this was a random beginning to the podcast, but I'm gonna let's talk about who you guys are.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
the
Let's get
people
into
can
that a
know.
little
Cool.
Who are you? Melvin, let's start off with you. For people who are watching and can see, we are recording this on the day of the Lakers' first
Oh, Jesus,
preseason
yes.
game.
Jesus,
Melvin
yes.
looks happier than a kid
Let's
in a
go.
candy store.
Let's
Kyle
go.
does not.
I got the socks on. I got my hat, my bag.
Sneakers.
I got the Jordan ones in purple and yellow. Let's go,
And he's
bruh.
got the Magic Johnson
I'm
throwback
here.
on.
Yes, sir. You already know.
So we can.
It ain't MJ Mondays. It's Magic Mondays. But go ahead.
That's gonna piss some people off. That's gonna piss, especially from your hometown.
Oh, it's okay. It happens.
It's gonna piss some people off.
They'll be all right.
Tell us about you. You're here in New York. Everything you're doing with your show.
Look at his face
With
too.
your show,
It was like a
the-
face off. He was just like, yeah, I see.
Yeah, I said it,
He said,
and
you
I'm gonna stand
You
behind
gotta
it.
bring that energy.
Yeah, but you,
Wow.
you
Like,
yeah, and
Look
you
at his
said-
hands, like the way that he's like.
Let's go.
Wait, how do you not become a Bulls fan from Chicago?
So here's the thing.
All right.
When
Yes, this speaks to you.
born in Ohio, my dad's side of the family's there. Mom was from Chicago. We ended up moving to Chicago. When I was there, towards the end of the Jordan era, I was still mad young, trying to figure everything out.
Okay.
After he retires, is when you get the whole Tyson Chandler, Eddie Curry thing. But I'm like, all right,
Marcus
cool.
Pfizer.
Right, all those
Randle,
guys.
little
I'm
bit.
like, all right,
Crawford.
cool. People here are still gonna support the team because it's your team. No, everybody jumps ship. So I'm
Really?
like, what are y'all? Are none of y'all loyal? Like, what's going? People didn't really start messing with the Bulls again until around Derrick Rose came back.
Yeah.
Or like right around that time when Ben Gordon was there, and they were like, okay, they
Maybe.
kind of getting good.
Maybe.
Everybody in my family started picking different squads except my grandfather. My grandfather's been a Lakers fan since Elgin Baylor was playing. So I was like, all right, at least he's consistent with who he picks. So we were watching one game, and it was the game against Phoenix when the Lakers came back. Kobe hit the elbow jumper and won the game.
Yes.
This was like before they got into overtime. My granddad was like, yo, Melvin, cut the game off. The Lakers about to lose. I was like, no, granddad, they got a shot. Like, they going to win this game. He's like, no, I don't want to watch it. Just cut it off. I'm mad. Granddad, they going to win this game. Let's just finish it out. They end up winning the game, and I was like, oh, this is my squad. I'm good, bro. I'm good.
And that's how you became
And
a
that's
Laker
how
fan.
that's how I
Even
started.
when
So this is
You know
how
what
you
I
became a Laker fan. You're from Chi-Town, you came to New York. You're now doing the show, The Alternative with Melvin Taylor. Tell the people about your show, what it's about, and how you came here to New York and did that.
The alternative just kind of started with me wanting to do my own show and be like, all right, I see everybody's doing something. Well, I need to do something myself too. Like, how am I going to start a show? And before I moved out here, I was taking night classes for radio and TV. So I would go to work during the day, work all day till like 6 o'clock, and then go take a 7 to like 11 night class in Chicago.
There you go.
And right when I was about to finish up the program, I got a job offer to move here, and I had to do it like within a week. So I just left, moved here, and some of my homies back in Chicago said, hey, we have a radio station that we're starting up, and if you just want to do a show for us once you get on your feet, just let us know and we can start it. So I was like, okay, what's my show going to be called? Came up with The Alternative because I wanted to play stuff that was different than what you would hear on mainstream radio. I don't want the classic like top 50 that you're going to hear, oh, these are the hottest 50 songs. No, I want to go through somebody's mixtape, go through somebody's album and be like, these 4 album songs or these 4 mixtape songs are better than these 8 album songs. I'm going to play these songs versus these. That's how The Alternative started.
And what kind of music do people hear now?
So it's mostly hip hop. You get like an occasional pop song. I did play like Post Malone a couple times, but then he had some stuff to say about hip hop, so I was like, I'm good. But it's mostly like hip hop and R&B.
Thank you for your service in doing
No
that.
problem. No problem. I'm
I appreciate that.
unafraid to do that. I'm like, listen, if this how you came up and then you got something bad to say about it, oh, shoot fly, don't bother me.
Yeah.
I ain't worried about you.
The alternative to not listen.
There you go.
So you were from Philly, 215.
There we go, 267. You know what I mean? Upper Darby with the
Upper-
610s and all that.
okay.
What you know about Upper Darby, bro? We gonna connect or something?
No, my former roommate.
he went to Pitt.
Brian. I went to Pitt. My former roommate Brian Wallace. He's from around that area. He's actually from Norristown. So
Norristown. Yeah, with all the cobblestone. Yeah.
Yeah. And he's got.
You ain't riding nowhere without the cobblestone. That's
So
all it is. You
I
riding
know
around
about
there.
that 610 too. I know a little about
My
that.
man,
610.
my man.
So I understand that. All right, so you're from Philly. Tell us about your journey here and KDJ perspective. Tell us all about that.
All right. Started out up at Derby. Then after that, went to Philly, and so I had high school in Philly. Millersville University because I needed a change. You know what I mean? I got tired of being in class and being like clapping it up because I was right and all that. I needed another, I would get
That's
the,
real.
you know what I'm saying,
That's
dog?
real.
Like after a while, you get tired of being the right one. So I was like, I need a different perspective. So I went to Millersville University and I got it. I got it. It was one of those. You've been around like Lancaster, PA, with like the Amish.
Yeah.
The only reason why black
yeah.
folk go out there is because of the outlets
Yep.
and the smorgasbords and
Ain't
all
no
that
other
type of
reason
stuff.
I'd be out there.
Yep.
Like
I've been there.
they actually like park their horses like at the gas
yeah.
station.
That's
Yeah.
hilarious.
Like they pull it and they got them wooden scooters and they be kick pushing like on the highway. Like,
Shout out to Lupe.
and shout out to Lupe, but not that album. But
Not
the
that
thing
album.
Whoa. You talking about the most recent one?
I'm talking about the one that just dropped.
All right, I ain't
The
heard it
garbage,
yet.
so.
I ain't heard it yet.
We're gonna have to come
I
back
haven't
to
heard
that.
it. You can, you
You
can,
said
bro.
kick
can, bro.
push, and I was like,
I thought you
wait
said
a
that. I
minute.
thought you said
No, legendary. I'm talking latest album.
I thought he was
Talk
saying
about
Fruit and
that.
Liquor.
He's
was
talking
good.
Right, I was like,
No. Latest.
He's talking about
latest.
the one that's an hour and 1,000 minutes long.
Yeah.
the one that
yeah,
opened
it's
with
long.
the Spanish intro that somebody
And
told
then
me.
all of a
I got
sudden he was Elephant Man in one of them. I'm like, what are you doing, bro? You're from Chicago.
Yeah.
But the thing about it is, man, all right, so I'll speed it up. Boom. Was in college, did news and sports and wore like 9 hats and all that. Nothing was working out. I was like, yo, I'm about to quit this thing media. But then I went to NABJ, National Association of Black Journalists. Wound up
Whoop.
getting scooped up and I mean, I ain't gonna bring up the job, but wound up getting scooped up, came to New York, right? So I went from a 40 market to #1. Then after that, while I was working there, it just got to a point where I was like, it just clicked. I'm like, bro, like you're literally like working on someone else's dream every single day.
Yeah.
And like I thought when I came there that you wanted my vision and like I didn't know it was gonna be used as like the black one to go into these black communities and get stories and then give it to you. It's like
Yeah.
No, no, no.
You're the
I
urban
look at
translator.
Dexter. I was
I looked at
You're the
I looked
urban
at Dexter
translator.
because he knows about that life.
Bro, we'll talk about this off
Urban
camera. We already know
translator.
about this.
Right in the
But the thing-
soul.
You can tell by the face. He like, oh,
But the thing,
I like
the thing
this
about
talk.
it is, yeah, it could get there. But the
Yeah.
thing about it is,
It will
like,
get there.
it just got to the point where like I knew I was going to get fired. So I was like, I'm just going to stay until y'all fire me because I'm gonna get these checks. You know what I mean? But the thing about it is like that bug of owning my own business. I thought it was going to happen later, but God just had it worked out where it was like. You know what I mean? I was waiting on like I was doing like Uber and Postmates and all that to save up money for good cameras and all that. And it was just like I had this old like Rebel T3i. You know what I'm saying? I just started getting things. I knew it was about access and treating people right. You know what I'm saying? So right now to just basically speed it up, like I've been owning my own business, but basically just being on the ground and like I said, treat people right and understand it's about access. And if I want to be able to help build empires, then I provide a service for people that people don't have. I have a vision and I have creative ways that I can be able to express and get your brand and your business out there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like when I met Melvin and whatnot through one of the artists that I cover, I'm
Yeah.
like, bro, like, what do you do for this, and that? I started finding out he was a little stressed in these areas. I'm like, black man, let's talk. Like, what we doing
Yeah,
out here?
we can come
Because I
together.
seen his drive. You dig what I'm saying? So like, that's something that I admired in him, and I was like, if you gonna work that hard, then I need to be able to help you out. And that's how it is. Like I really feel like when I came here to New York, it's a thing of it's a whole lot of talk, but when it actually comes down to it, it's well, you know what I mean? And I'm not trying to hear that.
Yeah.
I come from a place we say no more, which means that
Say less, bro.
exactly. You know what I mean? Like it's enough of that. We doing this or
Yo,
no?
yeah,
we
what we
talking
gonna do?
budgets, we talking time, we emails, like what are we doing? You know what I
Right.
mean?
Yeah.
So when I actually catch people that actually are doing something to be able to like believe in themselves and all that, to be able to build themselves up, then I feel like I need to be able to be a part of that because it's like I know how lonely it is. You
Plus,
know what I mean?
it's also great to have somebody else in that studio because I was doing that show for a year from 3 a.m. to 6 a.m.
Right.
Yeah.
by myself.
Yeah.
Man.
Oh my God.
With your cell phone out. It's lit. It's lit.
It's you being there.
Knowing it's
oh
not
my
lit.
God, this new Black Panther. All right, yeah, we're
Yep.
just gonna sit here until this song is finished playing, and then just keep on going to the next one.
Tell
Yeah.
us about
Ice
that.
cold.
Tell us about that a little bit more because obviously you guys made that jump to come to New York.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's not like we're from New York. We're from here, so we don't necessarily know about it from that perspective. But you're from Chicago. You're from Philly. So sort of making that jump to come to the biggest city where a lot of people are actually leaving because it's mad expensive
It
here.
is.
So tell us
Crazy
more about
expensive.
that.
I wanna. I don't mean to. Did you wanna?
Ken, go ahead.
I would say one of the main reasons that I want to come here, I'm a huge J. Cole fan. So seeing his whole like, oh, I came from the middle of nowhere and then made it to New York. I was like, oh my God, okay. If he did it, he ran in the hole. He made his dreams happen.
Yeah.
I can do the same thing with everything I want to do. And plus, I've been hearing from people who had transplanted here that, not saying y'all necessarily, but there are a lot of New Yorkers that because they're born into this space, they're like, oh, it's always going to be there. I can get there at some point, rather than putting in that work to make it happen. So I'm like,
some of them are learning the hard way. I think that's true. I think that's the reality.
Agreed.
Some of them are
Went
learning
to
the hard way.
school with some of those
agreed.
people.
So now it's like, okay, well, I'm gonna come here. I'm gonna do my YouTube. I'm gonna have the public access TV show. I'm gonna go do the radio show from 3 to 6 a.m. and then I'm gonna go work my job after that. And then I'm gonna go network with people. I'm gonna go work my regular job. I'm gonna do everything I gotta do to make sure that at the end of the day, if it doesn't happen, then I'm gonna say I did everything that I could, and it just wasn't meant for me. Maybe I got to pass that knowledge on to somebody else.
Right.
But I'm not gonna be the one to say I didn't work my butt off to make sure.
Right. I feel like everybody needs to be empowered and enlightened in every way. Like every person that lives here on this earth is going to get mad deep. Every person that lives here on this earth is literally one of one, right? Like when I come into this room, like you'll never see a Kyle Javon Johnson. Like you will never get this spirit ever again.
Yep.
When Melvin comes to this room, you will never get that spirit ever again.
Right.
And I think that every single person needs to be able to experience that, like beyond color. Now the thing about it is, do I want to be able to build up a black empire? Yes, exactly. Just like everybody else does. Every other culture and nation has that. So I want to be able to build that up. However, I want us to get past this like racism and colorism and all that type of stuff because we need to be able to come together. Like it's incredibly idiotic how long like we've lived with racism and colorism existing. So with that being said, if I can be able to be the one, which I'm already doing now by treating people right and understanding looking at humans as humans, I'm able to take pictures and I'm able to do videos and people trust me with their stories to know that I'm trusting you with my deepest, darkest stories, but also that you're going to get it out to the public in the correct way. And that goes beyond color, you know what I'm saying? And I'm able to provide that, and I'm coming there with a beard and big hair and all that. And it's like, yeah, I want to come in like this. I want
to be me.
I want to be myself. But when you hear me speak or you look at my creativity, you're like, you changed my perspective.
Yeah.
Well,
You dig what I'm saying?
I want to say something to that you just said that I think is very important. And I think that is when you're creating stuff for people, doing it as a journalist. I talked to Brian about this. We worked on stuff with Sideline Stories. I think it's very important that you have the trust of people to know, like what you just said, that you're going to tell their stories in the right way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't think that every creator understands that responsibility.
100%.
Let me give you something that.
But
that
you do, and I like hearing that.
Let me give you something that it hit me like a couple of months ago. That like all of us are sitting here, and even the people that's working the cameras, we have to understand how important our actual like gift is on this earth. Every single day that we're here is history.
We had this convo. Yep. I remember
Like I
this.
said, it's extremely important. Without us documenting or talking about it, there's no history.
Word.
There's no history. Like you go through books, it's because it was a writer. It was a person that was able to say, today is so important, I must get this out so that the future may know.
Yeah.
For me, I need to be able to get outside and take pictures or do videos so people in the future could be able to see. Yep. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's like something bad, they could be able to say, well, I ain't trying to get on that. But I had to document that.
Word.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And I think people play around with this, like writers, journalists,
it's not
creators.
a game.
It's not a game at all. Without us, there's no history. And also, we also show like we live in a dream world every single day. Like this type of lifestyle, it's not the stability type of way. It's not the way that people think that is real. So the fact that we're able to take and be able to say that we can be creative and be comfortable and then make a living off of it, it's like we have a spark in a dull world.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like this world is such like a dull place, but we're the ones that bring the action and the spark and all that. And because when documentaries come out or books come out and things like that, it sparks. Because we were sitting there like, no, like that stability thing and what y'all doing every day, same thing. No, I can't do that.
Yeah, and us. Right.
Like it's bigger than us. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Do you feel like some of that excuse me, do you feel like some of that might have been lost with social media? Because a lot of people are probably doing these things like that now with the mentality of trying to self-promote over trying to tell these stories and get these stories and work with these people and things like that.
I think that some of them end up, those people that do take that aspect of it, you get to a certain point where you tap out, where you're like, all right, I've done everything in terms of self-promotion that I can do. What do I do now? It's like when people, I think we were having this conversation, when you get success a little too early and you don't have, it's like, all right, now what do I do with it? Like, no shade to Lil Bow Wow, but Lil Bow Wow on Twitter all the time, like, seemingly going crazy, seemingly
like
going
still
wild.
Trying to figure it out.
Right.
I haven't. Have you seen? I'm not gonna diss this man, but have you seen pictures of Lil Romeo lately?
Yo, I was about to say the same thing. I'm like, I follow Lil Romeo on IG, and I'm like, This man had the whole, I'm going to go to school and do this. Now I have a production studio. I have this show going on. I have this movie coming out. I'm acting
Played college
in this.
basketball, walked on to
I
USC.
hoop. Me and DeMar DeRozan was a package deal, et cetera, et cetera. And it's like everything is building.
One other iconic thing.
Go ahead.
The ICDC College.
Oh my God!
Oh,
But look at it. Look
Don't
at it.
ever
though.
disrespect
Look at it. Though.
commercial.
Now he can take that. He can take that in some way in the future. And like, say for example, if him and USC want to do something, I went there. I made movies. I know how to work with different colleges now that y'all see. Can flip that into something.
Yeah, I guess my point was that a lot of people see. I feel like back then, at least, or maybe before social media like really became a thing, people were trying to tell stories for the sake of like what you were saying,
Right?
That perspective, telling stories and things like that. And now some of that sort of gets lost in translation because now people just want to put things on social media all the time.
It's about being first. It's about clickbait. These are things.
Word.
These are the reasons why I stepped out of the industry, because it really got to a point where I was finding like really deep stories, and even like to the point where we'll talk off air about some things. But there was like a ninth grader at the time, was like one of the top in the nation and all that. Right? You already know where I'm going with this.
Yep.
He was like top in the nation, but I found out
What? Basketball?
in basketball.
Okay.
Basketball.
Like
okay.
at the time, he's
You know
ninth
who
grade.
he
He
is. Just put it that
So
way.
the thing about it is the kid's incredibly athletic. So everybody else looks for the next kid that can jump. I say it on off air another way. But the thing about it is, I come to find out that he wants to make the NBA not only just to play, but to own a team. I'm like, you're in ninth grade. This is a story. This is a story, because what they're saying is the next generation is understanding about
They already
ownership.
thinking that
I'm
way.
waiting. I'm waiting for
And this
the what
and this
to
is the
come
same.
here. What's
This is
the
the
what?
same.
Yeah, me too.
What's the what? With
What's
me
the
coming
what?
up, with me coming up with it, and the fact that like when I come with these stories, it's like, do we need you in the lead? You know what I'm saying? So that's the thing about it, where it's like if I'm able to step out on my own and I make this connection, I'm able to come at them and say, listen, I know that you play ball. I understand that you're great. Like I already got that.
Right.
Because even when I was
That's
coming,
minutia.
exactly. And that's one thing. Like when I was going to like the Jordan Brand Classics and things like that, like people used to shun the media. They used to look at me like, oh, he's media. I'm like, bro, just come here for a minute.
And
Like,
still do to some degree.
but at the end of the day, the first thing I would say is, I'm like, bro, listen, I already know you good at hoop. Like, that's the reason why I'm here. I'm trying to find out your story, bro.
Yeah.
Well,
Like,
like,
I got it.
yeah.
Like,
Like,
I
when
got
this
it.
is-
Like,
when this is done,
everybody's here talking
what
about these
else?
colleges and all that. First of all, I don't
That's
even
what-
believe in the NCAA. You need to go overseas, go get your money, and go to the NBA. Go get your chicken.
Yeah.
Well,
what I'm saying?
well, the point that you're making too, and I remember this was the whole reason I started doing my thing with Sideline Stories, was I was just like that in the same way. I stopped caring. I love sports journalism. I stopped caring about how much points it's getting, especially on the high school level, because I think it's a good point you bring up.
Yeah.
Where's this kid going to school? And I saw all the corruption that was in the AAU and all that other stuff.
It's scary, bro.
You're right. You go
It's-
to this
it's
stuff,
scary.
and I'm like, I know you know who's dope, you know who's not dope,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
And then it's like, but what's your story? What's really behind that? What's it really about? You know, and I think when people try to dig deeper, it's dope. When you're trying to dig deeper, when you're trying to play the songs that everybody else is not trying to hear, that's dope. Like you're trying to get to something beneath what everybody just sees at the surface. And it's like, it's so tired, but everybody wants that. It's like, yo, I can attach my name with this dude, so my Instagram following could go
But
up.
that's corny, though.
I
'Cause
agree. I
my
think
thing
it is.
Why
But
don't
that's
you
what people
believe?
are
Why don't you
doing
believe
now.
in yourself so much? Like,
Right.
whenever you meet a
Right.
celebrity, why you gotta take a picture with him?
That's
Like
true.
whenever you meet somebody that's like, you know, somewhat famous, why you got to make a big deal of it?
Or,
Like,
or
why
whenever
not coming
you,
at a
or whenever you write about somebody, you know, don't always highlight their accomplishments and be like, oh, I worked with this person at that point. Because a lot of people do that. Oh, congratulations to this person, and post a picture with them, whatever, and they're not even tight like that.
Or what I've also ended up seeing in terms of what we all do is then you work with somebody, you've done something, and then they attach themselves to that person literally forever. And that's all that they can do. It's like
That's like the only thing you remember for.
yeah, and I'm like, that's as a creator, is that what you want to do?
Like that was your goal,
Yeah,
bro?
like this is it. I think the point Kyle raises is a good one in that don't you want more? And I think we're saying this from a place of love. Like you want everybody to want more from themselves, not necessarily just attach themselves.
I want you to get deeper in it. Like, what are you really in it for? Like, we understand all of this is going to get you followers,
The thing
but
that
what
sucks
else?
it's kind of a gift and a curse in a way, but when you get those stories, it's just better to do them yourself as opposed to, hey, I can do this for X outlet or whatever, because they're not going to want to pay you for it because they're going to want a certain amount of clicks because that's what they can sell to advertisers. So, yeah, it's better to just do it by yourself, do it independently, which is what we're all about in this room.
Cut the middleman out. Nipsey Hussle was good.
Yeah.
My guy.
Considering you guys are both creatives, are there any companies that you guys like right now? Like, you know, that you really look up to their work or you care for?
Why are you looking at me?
I'm gonna put it. Let me put it this way. I'm not I'm not
I don't
looking
know.
at any necessary like.
We talked
companies,
about
like,
something off air. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's funny. There are a
It's a
few
beautiful
companies that I'm like,
transition.
I would love to work for, but I'm looking past the companies that just looking at different creatives in a sense now to see and notice how they've moved through different companies and through different eras. Like two people in particular that I look up to, Nick Cannon and Ryan Seacrest. They've been able to go through
Ryan
everything and still like manage who they are and build on top of that and keep building. Terrence J, same thing. Just like, all right, started on 106 in Park. Then I was over at E! News. Now I'm over here at MTV getting the bag. So it's not necessarily the companies, but in what ways are you presenting the ideas that you still have, staying relevant within that and keeping it authentic?
But so when you talk about like media companies and things like that, like the reason why I shun away from it is because I remember it was a time when I went to NABJ and I still had the company on my chest. And the year before, I had like WGAL, right? So it was like this Lancaster County joint. So like people would mess with me because of the way I partied and the way I looked, right? Then all of a sudden the next year they was coming up to me was like, "Oh, we gotta talk." And I would flat out I would flat out say, I'm just like, about what? Because you didn't talk to me last. I would say it flat out. Be like,
It's like last year you walked right past
no,
me.
what do we
now
have?
you
No,
want to have this conversation.
It's a dead
What's good?
serious thing. What do we have?
Gotcha.
What do we
Yeah,
have
yeah,
to talk
yeah.
about?
You guys have now gotten into another thing that I find always interesting,
You want to take a break?
which is no. I
you
will
gonna
after
do it
this.
right now?
Yeah. We're gonna
Yeah,
do
I
this.
still got a little more
I
seasoning.
I
don't think-
I know.
got you, I got you.
I see you.
But it's the
Like-
network. It's the networking. Okay, the network.
We was
Airports.
just talking about this.
When it comes to
Takeover season,
when it
takeover
comes
season.
to minorities in media. All right. Now I want to have full disclosure here before something you got to. I have never went to NABJ. Yes, please don't revoke.
I
my
haven't
black,
either. You all
don't
good.
revoke my black card. All right, Melvin's with me. We good.
I make good collard greens, so I'm fine. Let somebody tell me I ain't black. Okay, bro. Sure, go ahead.
Yeah, NABJ is not the reason to be taking away people's black card.
There you go.
Anyway, I haven't been.
But you do want to go.
I'm going to go next year.
Okay.
A lot of
Because it's in Miami.
No, let me not
Hey,
even,
don't worry. That might be my reason.
Let me not
Go
even
ahead.
lie.
Go ahead.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Last year, what was it? Detroit?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. All right.
That was a spiritual thing for me, bro. I ain't gonna hold you.
Okay.
I was able to make my impact nationwide.
I feel you, but here's my thing.
it's on your side.
I think you bring.
Hey,
I
I heard that.
think he brings up a good point that I've spoken to people about who went to it. Right? There's this kind of thing where everybody's trying. Look, people are looking for opportunities. Also, in full disclosure, I've been part of the New York chapter of the NYABJ, New York Association.
Shout
of
out to
Black
Michael Feeney.
Journalists. Yes, R.I.P. Michael. Rest in peace to Michael
a
Feeney.
Truly
And I've done
brilliant and great brother.
a lot of good work with people from the New York chapter of NYABJ.
Yeah.
With all that being said, I understand when you go to these places, people are looking for opportunities. They're looking for ways to connect with different people.
Yeah.
Okay? It shouldn't matter that Kyle had whatever company he was working for one year and then the other, right? Like if I meet Melvin and we don't know each other from anywhere and I'm like, yo, we're just vibing and we just talking about whatever, Lakers, Knicks, and we're vibing, we're talking about creating, or I meet Kyle, we're talking about creative. It should just be that. But that's my problem with things like that. It's like everybody's trying to get a piece of somebody, right? Not necessarily connect and collaborate.
Yep.
And sometimes the networking isn't actually networking. The people I met through NYABJ that I still connect with and vibe with and do dope work with today are people we just vibed with. It was just about that.
Yep.
We're still good friends today. People who really want to do something better, like the late Michael Feeney, who we spoke about.
Yeah, man.
And I think that's disappointing when you see that on a national level. And it makes you wonder, like, do y'all take the networking thing seriously, or do you like more of the organic networking and like how both of you guys met Brian? Like, what?
That's
do you,
true.
Like, what do you, as creatives, what do you see better? Like that kind of networking,
Yeah,
or
well,
just
people get connected to names, bro. It brings validity to who they are. I went through that. Like when I got fired, it took me a year for me to like understand that like I was wondering why I felt like kind of empty. And I went to NABJ without that on my chest, and it was like this emptiness. And I really realized I was like, you call yourself a king, right? I was like, yeah. It was like, you know that you're the same man and a king with or without that job. That's when I picked up my camera and did it on my own. I had to realize that. Like I had to like swallow that pill and understand that like that name brought you validity, like in your mind, bro. But that's what a lot of people, that's why people are proud to say, I work for such and such and such. But what did you just say? I work for.
yes,
I'm building up someone else's
You didn't say with.
dream.
You didn't say
You didn't
with.
say I'm in
said
partnership.
for.
You know what's powerful when you say I'm partnering with an ESPN, I'm partnering with a Facebook because they look at you as an equal and they say that we can all rise together.
You want to work
right?
with, not work for.
That's what I'm saying.
Yes.
So at the end of the day, when people coming to me talking about we got to talk, I would flat out, I would have my crew and be like, for what? Because I already know what you're here for.
Yeah.
Don't come to me with that. You know what I'm saying? So like it was so through the times that like I'll skip over some details, but at the end of the day, I basically like I live by like I always wanted to be based on my name. Even when I worked for a company, like when I had that 369, that 3-month, 6-month check-in and all that, I said I want to be known as the Hype Williams of like high school basketball. Like because anybody in the 2000s, if you wanted a good video, you went to Hype.
Yeah.
Yep.
I want to be, and they said you're gonna be nationwide. I was like, bet. When I step in a room, I wanted to be within my first 3 months. That's Kyle right there. If we need a story, we going to him. I mean, I was basically speaking. I need to work for myself, a long time
You
ago.
were saying that you putting that energy out.
But
there.
I didn't know that at the time. I was thinking I can just do that under an umbrella. Since you're giving me the passes, I can just do that, not knowing that they're looking at me totally different.
Yeah.
But it's always about my name. I want people to be able to like. That's why I don't bang with people that come up to me when I used to work for people and try to connect. Because it's like you're not coming up to me being genuine.
Yeah.
You're not coming up to me because of my creativity or who I am. Because my creativity and who I am, that's the thing that's gonna get me far. I'm going to see this whole world based off of who I am. No name is going to take, like a name may help out to get me over there.
Oh, yeah.
But the only reason why you hire me or you actually are messing with me is because of my creativity or who I am.
Yeah.
So if you skipping over that, it's just like, good. I can just like wash you out. It's very easy for me now. Because I'm by myself. When I say I work for myself, I can read you. Because if you can see that, he works for himself and it sparks you, I'm like, you got something in you.
Yeah. Versus,
But if you just like,
said company, hey, let's
or you do like the whole like,
Right.
you're a freelancer, or you do your own thing. I'm like, that's cute. I do my own thing. That's so cute. I love that. But the thing about it is like, because at the end of the day, like each media company, any big company, period, it took one person to say, I believe in myself.
Yeah.
No matter what the company is, you're right about that. It took one person.
It took one person to be like, I feel like I'm doper.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's like I could do this a bit better.
Yes.
I'm gonna keep going.
Right.
Every
And
single
that's
one.
what's great. That's what people should be doing. That's how
Get
we
money
push
on the
things
back
forward.
end.
Right?
Correct. And I'm gonna
Yeah.
go through these tough times and all that, and I gotta be like a broke boy for a certain period of time and all. But it gets to the point where it's just like, my glow up came, and now like as I'm on a rise in my later years, what are you stable doing what now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Should have believed in yourself.
I agree.
And you got to take those chances now that you can. You got to take them now.
Agreed.
Use social media for the power of good. We talked about that in our last episode a little bit.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
so
You got to
maximize
take those chances now.
opportunities that way.
All right, this is a good discussion. All right, we're going to take a quick break. We come back. We're going to talk a little more sports. Why Melvin should be excited or should not. I don't know how he feels. Excited about the Lakers this year. We're going to delve into Kyle's sports fandom. See what else he likes. Talk a little hip hop.
Yo, don't respect my city like that, dog.
Ain't nobody disrespect.
I don't
I
like
just
that tone in
said
your
Philly.
Ooh.
I just
Philly.
said
No,
Philly.
listen,
Ooh,
we go
it's
through
getting
this.
spicy.
Back after this.
Philadelphia.
No. Keep the spice going. No. Okay. We'll be back after this on the Ain't Hard to Tell podcast. The Sports Walk is back. Watch Season 2 of Backpack Broadcasting's original web series that brings you the opinions of real sports fans. The entire first season and current season are available now on the Sports Walk YouTube channel and Facebook page. Check out the 2017 NYC WebFest official selection and see what other sports fans have to say on the hottest issues in sports today. It's easy. Just take the Sports Walk. All right, welcome back to Ain't Hard to Tell podcast, episode 46. Dexter, Henry, Brian, Fonseca doing our thing once again. And we have our guest, Melvin Taylor, the host of The Alternative with Melvin Taylor, also a writer for Respect Magazine, YouTuber, and Kyle Johnson, creative owner of KDJ Perspective.
Hello.
They are in the
Is it
building.
me you're looking for?
I was about to say, you doing the Dale or Lionel Richie? Where we going?
I don't know, but
That's just me,
this is
bro.
just
You
still
know I'm
making me-
random.
Still making me realize y'all need to do the Quiet Storm show.
All right, let's get through this
We might have to do
terrible
that at some
list
point.
of 46ers. So for those of you who don't know, we pick an athlete to represent the number of the episode. So for the artwork or whatever, we have the athlete. You know what I
See,
mean?
they're thinking
That
about
kind of thing.
46ers right now.
The history of athletes that wore number 46 is terrible. It's really, really bad.
Hey, we could
Only
get
5
45.
NBA players ever wore 46, and none of them are very good.
Yeah,
So-
I see
Shoot
that.
him
I
out.
see
Shoot him
that.
out.
Yeah, so and we're going through all sports, and this was the list. Aaron Baines, who currently wears 46 for the Boston Celtics.
Oh, he does.
Yes.
Yeah. Wow.
He's he's a solid role player.
He's probably the best 46
He
ever
was
because the
early.
second best one is Bo Outlaw from Portland. We're not doing that.
Oh, I liked Bo.
Hey, man, Bo Outlaw was kind of decent.
Bo used to block some shots, man.
Hey.
But he was
Bo had
was it
some
Portland?
hustle.
I don't think. I don't
Didn't
even
Bo
think
have
he
a
was
dunk
on Portland.
icon?
He
I
was
don't
also
think
in Memphis for a little bit.
I
if
don't think it
remember
was.
correctly.
And
Wait,
Orlando.
It
And
might,
Orlando.
no, it wasn't Portland. It was Phoenix Bo Outlaw. That's why.
I forgot he played in Phoenix.
Exactly. We're not doing that. So we got what's it called? Andy Pettit.
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean,
I'm not a Yankee fan.
borderline
Okay.
Hall
Andy
of Famer.
I don't know if I want to put a Yankee there. Steve Thrasher.
Nope.
I always put in terrible Mets to mess with him. Y'all don't watch baseball, do y'all?
Nope.
Yeah.
I
Okay,
hate
so
that.
there we go.
Once I saw, when I was in grade school and saw people throwing 70 miles per hour, I was like, I'm good, bro. I don't need
All
this in my
right.
life.
Craig Kimbrell, also a baseball player. Herm Edwards.
Oh, yes. Let's go, Herm.
Play
Let's go, Herm.
to win
the game. Let's go. I'm
And
with
then Tim McDonald, who
name
was a
Monday.
safety for the 49ers in the 90s.
Yes.
that. We got Herm Edwards. We good.
Oliver Perez and Tyler Clippard, who was with the Mets when he wore 46.
And I was an Ali P fan, but I got to rock with my man Herm Edwards.
Herm Edwards. We're
You
going
play
Herm Edwards.
to win
the
game.
game.
I guess we could stay with basketball then, Melvin.
good, baby?
Laker jersey, Laker
Yes,
socks,
sir. Let's-
purple
my
and
man.
gold
Do-
kicks.
doing too
man.
much Laker All Star.
Let's go ahead.
It's
Let's-
breathable
what you
too.
wanna
It got
talk
the
about?
holes in
Oh,
it. Like it's
brother.
not playing.
We
Kyle,
official
do you
out
have
here
an
tonight.
NBA team?
We
Nah, I mess with the
official.
Sixers.
You mess with the Sixers.
I mess
you
with the
you
Sixers.
mess with the process.
But you're
Nah,
not.
so
Are you a
this is the
Sixer
thing.
fan or
This
you
is
just
the
mess
thing. No,
with the
bro.
Sixers?
I got you. So coming up.
Here we go.
It was what you.
Bro, no,
No,
I was
he has a
saying,
chance
for
Bruh,
him.
I'm not
You got a
speaking in a
chance for
negative
Man,
tone.
I'm telling you, at the radio station, we
Would
throw
you-
hands. So
would
I'm
you-
just
come
saying,
on. Would you
like,
come on.
all right, cool.
Coming up.
No, but like when I was a young boy, I used to like it was only about Michael Jordan. Only about
Okay.
Michael Jordan. You know what I mean? So it was like one of my first words was Michael Jordan. Like it was like that type of thing. Like
What's up, Jasmine?
I had the VHSs that all had snow and all that type of stuff. Like all of his documentaries. Remember they used to make the documentaries on each of the players and all that.
Yeah.
Bro, like the NBA superstars VHSs.
I got some of these because of my older brother.
I had the big book that they had. Oh, never.
Bro, stop playing. Like I still
first take
remember.
it back.
I still remember when Michael Jordan had the Berlin song "Take My Breath Away" and they mixed that together. I still remember when Patti LaBelle and Big Daddy Kane had a song together and had Michael Jordan on
Oh, I remember that.
there. Do you remember Larry Bird's "Small Town"? I
Yes.
was born in a
Yes.
small town.
Yes.
Like it's incredible. Like and they
Yes.
had Magic. Then they had Clyde Drexler,
Yeah,
that guy. on
yes.
test.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
let me get
yeah.
back. So this is how I came up with that's how I found out about my legends, things like that. But Michael Jordan was just like this incredible like being, and I was like, that was just the guy right there. So it was like you playing the Chicago Bulls, I'm a Chicago Bulls fan. He retired, and I was just like, I don't know what to do. And I just love the game of basketball, period. So I love the game of basketball. But the thing about it is, I love the basketball just because, like, that's how I was born. Like, I had the ball in the crib, the whole thing, da-da-da.
Same.
But
Played
the
in
thing
high-
about it is,
you played.
yeah, but the thing about it is, like, I went to high school and I could have played like JV or I started running cross country. And what happened was I wound up going all pub. And I was like almost on the verge of going to state. And I was like, JV, all y'all get is a handshake. I got mad medals from me running just to get in shape. Like I remember it was some hoopers on my team. And I remember they got a handshake. And I was like, that's corny because I'm
That's
tripping
messed
in
up.
these
It's bogus.
these like I'm like, I got gold and silver on my joint.
I did cross country too. I remember. I hated those.
You know what I'm saying? I
uniforms.
came in with the swishes and all that, was getting clowned until I went
Yeah.
to state. And then was on my thing. What
Did
you talking about?
Wait, you from PA? Did you run at Penn Relays at all?
No, that's the only thing,
For
bro.
track?
When you do distance, it's like in my world.
Did you do track or just?
No, I
cross
did
country?
track. No, I did track and cross country.
Okay.
But like I
That's
ran
what I was-
distance.
Oh,
So like the
okay.
4x1s
Right.
and
So
even
yeah,
4x8s and all
right.
that. Like
Yeah.
I would cheer my boys on, or you know what I mean, or being in the
yeah,
Jamaican
yeah.
section.
So
I
you
used to
was-
find ways to sneak into the Jamaican section.
So you've been to Penn Relays?
Oh my!
You been? You haven't been,
I have
right?
not been,
Dexter?
no.
It's
I have not.
Yo,
incredible.
I've
bro.
been there.
It's incredible.
Sorry. Yeah. So who's your team? Yeah,
My team is the Sixers. Team's the Sixers. So like basically, I loved the game of basketball and things like that. And I was like, you know what? It's time to go ahead and bring it on home. I asked the Philadelphia fans. I was like, listen, can
You asked
I?
him for permission.
It's a must.
Okay.
It's a must. You can't go away from the home and come back and be like, what's popping, y'all? You gotta ask. Can I be a part of this community now?
They let you back in.
I think.
Yeah, they let me-
New York, is New York like that? Is it similar?
I mean, look, Knicks have been so bad for long. Ain't nobody been asking to come back.
That's a
It's
good
not like
point.
anybody's been like,
That's a
yo,
good
let
point.
me
No
get
shade.
back on the
That's a
Knicks.
good point.
Nah, nobody's been like, let's get back on the Knicks bandwagon.
That's like there's some
I
Laker
really-
fans out
Nah,
there
but
where I'm like, hey, y'all need to
some
chill,
Knick
bro.
fans really treat it that way. Like some Knick fans be like, "Oh, we don't even want y'all anyway." You know what I mean? Like they're like
mean,
that.
Real talk, they do.
Look,
They
man,
do.
bandwagon jumpers are gonna do what they do. They're gonna be bandwagon jumpers. I don't even focus on the energy. Like if I've been rocking with my Knicks. You know I'm a diehard Knicks fan. I've been rocking with them since I was 7.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna rock with them. If you're gonna come when the Knicks get hot again, Lord knows whenever
Which
that'll
they
be.
will. They will. It's like
there's a couple people,
same,
though.
same thing. Same thing when you're an independent media person. People are gonna get on you when you get hot.
True.
They're
That's
not
what
gonna
it
do
is.
it for
I'm-
There's
nothing.
some people. I gotta vet some people though, because like when I support the Warriors, people be like, "Oh my God, I love Steph Curry." Tell me who is Michael Petrus. Tell me who is Don
They don't
Nelson.
know.
You're not a Warriors fan.
Tell
Get
me,
out of here,
Was
dog.
Michael Petrus from America? That's when you really
So-
when
Nah,
you
bro.
can
No.
tell me Michael Petrus
What
like
country is
nationality.
Michael Petrus
That's how
from?
exactly. That's how I
Yo,
know.
but I feel that there's nothing wrong with checking fans on that. There was a guy I was in Whole Foods once
Mm-hmm.
a couple months ago, and this dude.
You don't eat
ended up-
healthy, bro? You said a couple months ago. Wow.
No, I was in Whole Foods yesterday.
All right,
Actually.
cool. I'm not
Okay.
saying you
like,
keep your
I'm
body
still-
right, bro.
I'm still consistent with it.
All right,
Come on,
there
But
we
a
go.
couple months ago,
Especially
I was
doing
there,
media, you have to.
and I
Gotta be
ended, up,
sure.
I ended up. This is the same Whole Foods where I ran into
Jaleel Okafor.
Jaleel Okafor.
My God,
And,
shout out Chicago.
Former Philadelphia
former
76ers.
Philadelphia
He
Six.
definitely said that. I'll tell you a story up here. Go ahead.
Anyway,
No, it's
I'm
something,
talking to
something.
this guy,
Yeah.
and he's a Warriors fan.
Yeah.
He's rocking the hat and everything. We ended up talking basketball some reason. I think they were playing the Sixers
Mm-hmm.
that night. And this other Sixers fan, we all start talking.
Dope.
And I told the Warriors fan, I'm like, how long you been a Warriors fan? But nah, he was down.
He
Like,
was real.
He
Okay.
was real. Like
Baron
he
Davis
went,
He like
Uh,
Run TMC type
Run
Warrior.
TMC.
Okay, there we go.
Baron Davis.
There we
Yeah,
go.
he talk-
Latrell Sprewell
Yeah.
I'm here with
choking.
it. I'm here with it.
He was
Choking,
down.
PJ
Like, he was no. He
You
was
talking
no.
about- so when
he was
Chris
no
Webber
fake.
had joined the team, you like,
Yes.
oh, you're going back to like.
So back when we
92.
had Gilbert. Okay.
Yes.
All
So
right.
he knew. So I was like,
Before the gun.
he's a real one. But I had to check him though. I had to check him. Yeah, before the guy. Yeah. I had to check. I'm just saying, sometimes we got to vet these
Oh,
fans
you
and
do.
check them and
You
let
do.
them know
It's
what's
a
up.
lot of Lakers fans right now that's popping up, and I'm like, excuse me, do you know who Robert Sacre is? No. All right, chill then.
You never seen
Good
Robert
one.
Sacre
Did you
cheering
know
on the
Nick
end of the
Van
bench.
Exel
You
was
ain't
a
never
Laker?
seen his dunk contest,
did
dog?
you not see that Robert Sacre had a better hook shot than Dwight Howard? You need to calm down.
So
now.
how are you guys feeling about your teams though? Your team's kind of, you got two of the really good young players in the league.
3, you better not miscount Markelle Fultz. That dude
I
then
see that.
bulked up.
I
this
saw
offseason.
the other night and
Saw
the
him
jump.
last
He
year.
looked like Michael B. Jordan in Creed. Not even
Yeah,
lying,
I watched
to
it.
you, dog.
Yeah.
I follow all of the. Like,
I got to
all
see
of-
how that jumper's looking
him,
though.
him, Jason Tatum. My fault. Him, Jason Tatum, Mo Bamba, Joel Embiid. They all like train in the same spot. It's like Pure Sweat or something like that. But
Pure-
I followed
yeah.
I followed the
In New
photographers, so I was able to see like how he was growing. Like, cause back in high school, like I was with him. Like I was,
Yeah.
you know, what I mean, I was able to see like his, and even with Jason Tatum too. Jason Tatum, but I knew that Jason Tatum was gonna be ready and all that, bro. Jaleel Okafor was the one that told me. I was like, "Yo, who's next up?" And he told me when he was in high school, he was like, "Jason Tatum is the one."
Huh.
Jason Tatum's one. But then when I was able to see him, I was
Both
like,
went to Duke. Also.
he has the most. He has one of the, even in high school, he has the most composed, beautiful, smoothest game I've seen in
I
a
like his
long
game a
time.
lot.
He
Like
doesn't
in
seem
high
like
school,
he's in
he
a
was
rush.
doing that, bro. Like
Yeah.
he'll come up, post you up,
Yeah.
shimmy, turn around. I'm like, it's gorgeous.
He's about to make Gordon Hayward trade bait.
A Gordon Hayward bench trade.
Nah, that's real though. That's real.
Gordon
Though.
Hayward bench
So
trade.
you feel, how do you feel about where your team is in the process?
The
I'ma
fact
get
the
to you in
fact
a
that the
second.
fact that
problem.
Philadelphia, like even when we talk amongst each other, Philadelphia fans, it's really a thing of just like we're so surprised that we're so young, but just off of just raw talent and just going hard, we was able to make it that far because we thought we was going to keep building. Like we're used to this building process, you know what I mean? Like I still remember the tanks and all that other type of stuff. So like we thought it was going to be a process, but Joel Embiid like really brought in. Then after that, like Ben Simmons bought in. You know what I mean?
Sitting
Like
out that
when
one
JJ
NBA
Redick
year
came,
coming back changed his
exactly.
game.
And
JJ
Embiid sat out
Redick
too.
bought in. Like everybody bought, even like TJ bought. Everybody brought in and just did their job, and it started surprising people. And like to be honest, I wasn't expecting the Celtics to really beat us. Like I didn't want Milwaukee. I didn't want to have to deal with the Greek. I didn't want to have to deal with the Greek freak.
Giannis,
Giannis.
Like the way he runs and then I'm like, no, I don't want that
That's
in
the-
Philadelphia.
That's a Usain Bolt right
I
there.
don't
He's so
exactly. I
long.
don't want that. I don't want that in my town. But the Celtics came and did they did their thing. But at the end of the day, I'm just really looking forward to like seeing how everybody gels because the fact that everybody's so versatile. You know what I mean? Like you really could everybody could switch to different lanes. Like you could play Ben Simmons from the point guard all the way almost to the power forward. And now the way that Markelle looks physically, I mean, he can even stick you about to put on the hat.
I'm just getting
We get into the
God.
Lakers.
We taking our time still.
We
no,
getting-
we're not rushing. We're not rushing. I still want him to go Philly.
mercy.
I'm just waiting on my time.
I hope your head sweats hard and it drips down your back.
Well, if you're gonna put on, the
That's
hat,
why it's a breathable jersey, my guy.
I hope you got swamp butt when you. I hope it's that hot. Like I want it to drip from the top of your head all the way down to the
for those who can't see.
I hope your sweatpants.
For those who can't see, Melvin's bald. First of all, so it will.
Hey,
it
you
will
right.
drip.
Bald head dude named
He don't
Melvin.
got
What
no
else?
headband.
Find me on YouTube. It's all good. It's all good.
no
you
sweatband on
you
nothing.
just put on the Laker hat.
I'll be bald in a few years, so I'm right
And
with you.
You also, yeah. And
Hey, listen, just embrace it when it comes. That's all I'm gonna say. Don't be one of them dudes that's out here trying to fight it. I was doing that for the longest.
thank
It makes
you.
it worse.
Yo, don't get no man
makes
cap,
it
no
worse.
man weaves. If I see
don't
any
do
of
that
y'all with
either.
it, I'm
Don't
taking
do
a
that
Poland
either.
Spring.
Hey, yo,
water,
whatever you do,
dousing it
when
on
you go
I'm
to
Puerto
your
Rican,
barber,
bro. I'm gonna do the Miguel Cotto. I'll be straight.
when you go to your barber,
Okay,
don't
start
let
with
them
you.
do that paint thing either.
Real
That's
rap.
disgusting.
putting the Beijing
My
ring
older-
in.
One of my barbers did
man.
that to me
My
one
older
time. I go
brother-
home and I take a shower and I'm like, yo, why is my
Real
head
rap.
bleeding black?
Yeah.
No,
So he
this dude
basically was letting you know that it was time to
No,
come on.
he did. He
My,
did.
my, my older
He did.
brother's already doing it, and he looks like every bald dude with a beard with some color.
Oh,
As
like
long as he'll
Carlos
look like
Boozer.
Carlos Boozer, you good.
No, like
You
keep
good.
me
no,
shit.
no,
Carlos
like
Boozer was
Common,
doing
That was
because he a little
wild.
darker, like Common,
That
like
was
Joe
wild.
Budden.
Hey, Common got a bald head, bro. I just got done seeing him, bro. He ain't out here perpetrating, faking, and all that.
No. I'm saying that's how my brother looks. So that's probably
Oh,
where I'm gonna
normally.
get it from. Yeah, normal.
Okay,
No,
cool.
no.
There you
Bald
go.
with a beard.
Oh, okay.
Like
Yeah,
Joe
I'm-
Budden. Like yeah.
I'm with
good.
Melvin. You can't fake it.
No. I'm not doing
Yeah,
that.
don't
I
do
don't want
that.
to do because then there's
Don't do
something
that.
else I gotta worry
It
about.
just look bad.
That's why I'm gonna end up
Then
just
it
shaving
start
my
Oh,
head.
I
start
already-
poking at other insecurities.
I already
just
told
let it
you.
go.
I was like, I already
Yeah,
know.
he's
I know.
he's
I already
hinting
have
at
a little
it.
bit of thinnage in the front when my hair is starting to grow
He
out.
said like
Hey, listen,
SpongeBob
listen,
thinning.
Listen, you done made it this far, brother.
He's
You
like,
blessed.
hey,
I
you
got
know what
35
Dexter
years.
said?
I'm
I was in my junior year of college being like, Jesus, what is this happening?
Oh no!
Are you serious?
He was
right
walking
now?
around like
Basically, I'm like, you've got to be joking me. Barber
He was
like,
like,
hey, you
"Gotta-
want me to touch it, bro? Don't touch it. Don't touch it at
nothing.
all.
Don't
do
blow
anything.
on it. Don't breathe
Don't
on
do
it.
anything.
Damn,
You want to know what really
college?
hurt me though? Found out I was using Win products to shampoo my hair. I just found out last year that there was a lawsuit out against Win because they were making people lose their hair with their stuff.
Yo, why you ain't come up, bro? We
No.
can do
When
this together.
when I contacted them, they said that I missed the deadline to get up to 30 grand by 2 weeks.
Oh,
No, you
I
don't
was
contact
tight.
when you contact them. What we gonna
man.
talk about?
That's
No,
a whole
I
salary,
contacted
bro.
a whole bunch of
Yeah.
people. I contacted
30
a whole
grand?
bunch of
Okay.
That just makes me realize, like, damn, like I would sit there like, yo, you started losing your hair junior year is when you felt like you had to. You knew you had to
Yeah,
come
it was like
home.
sophomore year. I was growing an afro, and I was
Wait.
like, I see a little thinnage in the front. I still got maybe like around the age I'm at now, it might get bad. Junior year, I was like, no.
Damn,
Wait,
yeah,
I have a
real
question.
quick.
I have a question.
Sure.
So when you did it, did you tell anybody you was gonna do it? You just showed up.
I just did it one
'Cause
day
that-
because
he
it had
showed
got
up
to
like-
the point. It
He
got to
showed
the
up
point
like
where
Jordan
I was.
when he started pledging in school. Like,
No, you
when
can't.
Jordan became a Q dog,
I'm asking
and he
you
told me it was a
because-
new fresh. It was a new reform. I'm like, you were pledging, bro. Stop the lies.
I'm
can't
asking
tell
because
anybody.
you're Dexter. You're saying that you're just gonna show up
Nah,
one
I ain't
day.
telling nobody.
Yeah, just do it.
You're just
Where
gonna
was
show
I
up.
telling
Just
nobody?
do it.
I'm telling-
Just
'Cause
show up.
You gonna
Daughter
create
gonna
more
be
than
right
what it
here.
is by being like
Marguerite.
building it up. When
Yeah.
it's just like you just do it and you're like, okay, this feels right.
He should
Feels
have lied.
right.
Like I'm
Now,
pledging.
do you,
I think I'm gonna do
we've
that
gone
like
to
that,
a
too.
hair discussion now, but like, how do you? It's funny. You guys work together. And he's got way more hair than you. So like, do you feel
fine,
some
bro.
kind of way, or have you accepted?
There'd be times like I do look at some people's afros and some people's braids and I'm like, dang man, I really wish.
Damn, I should be happy.
I used to
really
have an
wish I
afro
could.
and braids. I
But
remember
it,
I was
now
telling
it gets
you
to a
that.
point where I'm like, yo, some people have really patchy beards. I just keep growing mine out. Mine ain't gonna be that way for a minute. And I'll be cool.
And one other question that goes is, okay, then how do you feel about the people that are still holding on? Like you look at these dudes and you're like, yo, man. it's time for you to come
I just
home.
look at them in disgust, to be honest with you, because I'm like, bruh, let it. If you still holding on and it looks semi decent, cool. If you holding on and it looks bad,
Come on home.
You making it worse.
Come on home.
You let go of your insecurities, and as long as you ain't got no peanut shaped head, you be all right.
As soon as my brother saw a
People gonna
receding,
see-
he shaved his
Yeah, just let it go.
let
The
it
sooner the better, because there are a lot of guys out there that feel like dumb insecure about wanting to cut it. They like, no, my manhood, all that, brother. I went through that too. Just let it go.
Dex, you're gonna pull it
You
off.
feel so much better.
I'll be fine.
you gonna be
I
solid.
will.
feel so much
What's
better
that
when you
therapist?
do.
Think it's like Ivanka or something like that.
Ivania fix it.
Oh, yeah, y'all
He,
fix
you
my
need to do
leg?
that for brothers that like you just
Yeah,
didn't have
for
an
hair loss.
intervention.
Yo,
here
we
for
just came
all-
up with a whole YouTube skit, bro.
That's real,
We
bro.
really did.
You just like
did.
it'd be an intervention, just be you and all that. Be
Yeah.
like, brother, I've been where you been.
Brother, I've been there.
I
Just take
remember
off the
when
hat,
it's up.
brother.
Yup,
I've
do
been.
it.
Hey, I'm not gonna cut it and just be like, brother, I've been there before. I've been there. I'm there with you right now. We can
And
do
I'm
this
there just like recording just this
Call
right here.
1-800.
Yeah, because you can't be on the camera. Nobody wants to hear from you. Nobody wants to hear from you.
No, not at all.
Nobody.
But I'm trying to make it, and I'll just make sure like I put enough highlight on it so
put
it like,
the
really
extra
shines.
shine.
Yeah,
I need to look
bro.
like the Black Mr. Clean out here when I do it. There you
Now,
go.
speaking of people who
Looking
are
like Shaft
losing
out
their
here.
hairline and actually play for your team, LeBron James came over.
Great
to your team.
transition.
That's right.
It was
That
a good
was-
transition.
Beautiful, bro. If you can reach me, do that.
Oh my God.
That's incredible.
Listen, man.
Oh, you talking
Okay.
about
All
I'm
those
here
years
with
of doing TV.
I'm here with
It was
it. I'm
incredible.
here with it.
You
I'm
know,
here with it.
the
I like
hair
that.
loss-
I like that.
And even though LeBron's at that point,
He gonna cut
might-
his when he retired, but it's okay.
He knows he needs to come on home.
But he's LeBron.
But he's LeBron, so
Yeah.
whatever. LeBron is now on your team. It is a new era of Laker basketball. How excited are you, and how good do you think the Lakers can be this year?
I'm very excited. Let me say that because I even told people beforehand, even if LeBron didn't come, I would still be excited because one, with the progression that Lonzo was making, I was like, okay, he's basically averaging like 9, 7, and 7 in like 40 games while shooting terribly. So he's gonna be there. Brandon Ingram averaging 9 his rookie year. Then the year after that was averaging like 16. All right, this third year he's gonna make that jump.
LeBron
Kuzma
getting him to
came
20.
in and surprised. I'm gonna get to that in a
getting him to
second.
20, yep.
Kuzma came in, did his thing. I was like, okay, I like where we're going already. And then when LeBron came in, I said, now you have these guys that are coming into their own. LeBron's gonna be able to take that pressure off of them. Ingram can go to 20 points.
Second star.
Lonzo can he can hit that. All right, I can get 12 points just off of fast breaks and layups, and I'm already going to get these assists and whatnot, and he's a good rebounder. Cool. Kuzma can now take that next step to be like, all right, I was averaging 15, 16 on a bad team. If I can average 16 on this team, 16, 17 on this team, I can basically be like a not who Robert Horry was on the Rockets, but on the Lakers type of guy in a better sense. So I think they're going to be good. Now, there's some people that's like, oh, they're going to go Western Conference Finals. They're going to go to the finals. They're going to do – I'm not that on it. I'm like they can go between 3 through 6 is a good range for
They're
me.
going to the Western
Because they're going to have to go
Conference.
through some growing pains.
They're going to the Western Conference Finals.
I think they can.
They got LeBron.
I don't have faith in Carmelo and how that's going to all work out. But I don't think Utah's better. Don't think San Antonio's better. Definitely don't think Portland is better now. And the rest of the teams, I'm like, okay, hit or miss.
You can take
maybe.
them. I
And
agree.
then if I have like Rondo, the progression Rondo has made in terms of being a locker room guy, and he's
That
the one
players
that brought
actually respect.
DeMarcus and Anthony Davis
Yeah.
together.
Yeah.
He's the one that held that Bulls locker room together when D Wade and Jimmy Butler was on their own thing. So I'm like, okay, if he can bring in a Beasley, a JaVale, a Lance, not saying you're going to be able to do it all the time. We know they're going to have Dennis Rodman moments. Cool. Fine with that. But now that I have a Magic here who's going to be a stoic figure, I have a LeBron here who's going to be a stoic figure, and they can be like, hey, Rondo, go yell at him. I'm cool. All right, good. We're going to be fine.
So,
I'm good with that.
And my other thing for you is, do you feel the need to rush and get a second star? If you're the Lakers, play it patient and wait till next offseason?
I want to say play it patient, wait till next offseason, because if Ingram can average 22 to 23, we have Ingram can be everything Andrew Wiggins should have been
I
when
agree.
Cleveland should not have made that trade.
Yes.
I completely agree with
Because
that.
I'm 100%
Beautiful.
on the why would you make this trade when you can have Kyrie can score the ball, Andrew
Andrew
Wiggins can
Wiggins.
play defense,
Yup.
LeBron, you can go be MJ and be like, I ain't really got to play defense. I can run around and get steals and block shots.
Said the same thing.
Why
4
are you
years
doing
ago.
that? And now you have Tristan Thompson in the state of you can be our like rebounding guy. All we need you to do, figure out what hand you gonna shoot with and just shoot from 12 feet in. That's it.
Word.
All I need you to do.
And now you got Kevin Love on a monster contract.
Yeah.
Well, that's Cleveland's fault
Yeah,
for this.
and
It's just-
the last I would say the last thing is
Yeah.
even if Kawhi like doesn't come, okay, somebody somewhere is gonna say yes. Even if it's
AD?
like that's like
You're
2
getting
years. That's
Anthony
like 2
Davis,
years.
bro. You're getting
That's like 2
Anthony
years.
Davis.
Oh, I know. People was telling me
Rich
that
Paul is the
I
agent.
know, I seen that.
I said this when we had Howard Beck
Once I saw-
on.
once I
You're
saw
getting
Clutch-
Anthony.
people
I
was
saw
telling
that
me
Clutch
that I was
Sports picture,
wild
I was
for
like,
being
come
like,
on,
yo,
man.
he got a house in LA. I was like, I know that. Ben Simmons just bought a house in LA. That don't mean he coming to the Lakers or the Clippers. But soon as I seen the Rich Paul thing happen, I was like,
Yeah.
now you got too many dominoes starting to line up. And my roommate was like, well, at some point, Clutch is going to get into trouble because they're doing all this. Bruh, agents and people do this stuff all the
They're
time,
talking
bro.
all the time.
Get that up out of here. Rob
Yeah.
Pelinka's our GM. He going to figure that out, bro. We good.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't think Rob Pelinka's talking to Rich Paul about this already?
Come on,
Possibly.
that's the entire
I'm not-
reason
see,
that
I wasn't trying to go down
KCP.
that rabbit
That's
hole.
why KCP was there last year.
Question.
Let's sign this deal in good faith. We gonna give you this balloon contract, You take a deal when LeBron comes. We're gonna take care of you, bro. We good.
You would would you
good.
accept? Would you openly accept Kevin Durant if that happens?
Good point.
That's a good question.
I would if he decided to come, just because now I know he's in the state of I don't care what anybody has to say about me.
Okay.
Because Kevin Durant's very much a guy, how you saying Spencer Dinwiddie earlier was replying to everybody.
Yeah.
KD's the type of guy.
Except Spencer doesn't have a burner account that I know of.
Right. But if KD were to say I'm coming to the Lakers, mentally he's accepted I'm tuning everybody else out. I'm genuinely doing whatever I want to do.
Yes.
Not as a I'm doing this because people feel like I need to. He's like, no, I can go win wherever.
Yeah.
I'm
gotta
doing this
embrace
where I
being
want
the
to do.
villain. You just gotta embrace being the
There
villain.
you go. Now, if
I
you
say,
really want to become a villain, go ahead and do that.
This is what I'm saying. Quitting is underrated, and being a villain is underrated.
The person in Golden State who I think is on their way out is Draymond. They're not letting Klay Thompson go because Klay likes to watch paint dry, and he's settled. He's good. Never letting Steph Curry go.
Yeah, Draymond's
and
out.
why would I let go of KD? Where's KD gonna go? Where you gonna go?
There's rumors about Knicks.
There's rumors, but same like there's rumors about Kyrie. How straight is y'all front office situation with James Dolan still in there?
Well, that's,
People around the league don't feel too good about that.
Listen. I like what the Knicks front office has been doing.
Agreed.
I like Perry.
Agreed.
I like the
This
Fizdale.
past year has been couple months. Let me say that has been good.
Let's not.
I was like, let me not do that.
It's been
This past
one of the
couple
more
months.
calming times as a Knicks fan.
I agree with you.
Okay?
I agree.
Dexter's trying to be so cautious right now.
There you go.
I have
There
to
you go.
be. I have to be. They've been.
It's like speaking into existence, but don't
Dog,
jinx.
it's like he's waiting to exhale. He was just like, it's been fine for these first 4 months, and I'm just waiting to be saved. And
waiting to be saved and waiting for James Dolan to mess it all up. I'm just saying. You don't know.
Dog, you waiting to exhale. That shit.
Nah, but I think
Shoot,
I think he's gonna stay away. I think he will.
I hope so.
I
and
think he
if
has.
because I think this is gonna work for the Knicks.
He has the wherewithal at
I
this
actually have
point
a
to say
good. I have
we
a
have
good
people in.
vibe. I have a good
Yeah.
vibe around the Knicks.
Now, work
I
to
think
what
they're gonna be awful this year, but I think they have a good vibe.
Yeah,
about
there you go.
what they're
Work
gonna
to what degree? I don't know.
And
But-
here's my thing. Let Porzingis sit out the whole year.
Yeah.
Have
I'm fine
Kevin
with
Knox
that.
and everybody else let me see you develop. Kind of like what the Lakers did last year.
Yep.
Let everybody just play.
I'm fine with
let them
that.
all develop, and then come free agency 2019. Who wants to be here with the young rising pieces that we have?
And Porzingis has proven that he can be a really good dude in this league. I think he has a chance to be a top 10 to 12 player. We saw it last year. He was dominating before he got hurt.
He was killing.
And don't
Let-
trade for Jimmy Butler.
Let him be healthy.
Don't
No,
do it.
don't do
Yeah,
that.
don't do that.
Let him be healthy and come back. All right, I want to switch gears to some hip hop.
All right.
First of all,
Real quick. Can
Yes.
you know what I'm looking forward to as like to watch the Lakers? Well, first of all the content is going to come out there, but how many LeVar
That's what I
Ball
wanna see.
gift files? My phone is going to be stacked with them.
or is
That's what I
LeVar
wanna
Ball
see.
going to actually say stuff,
let's-
though?
No,
Let's
like
be-
on the sideline. You imagine how many pop locks he going to be doing, and like every time LeBron throws a oop to LeVar, I mean to like where's the boy?
Lonzo?
To Lonzo or
Lonzo.
Zoe, throws a oop to like LeBron. He's going to his mind is going to be.
Can I say this one point?
Oh, it's
about
gonna be
LeVar?
incredible.
I think LeVar is in a state of now you have such a good thing going on with how press can go and Lonzo can really develop. If he comes out and starts saying stuff now,
He better not.
you really gonna turn people against you. You still got some things that are going for you going really well.
Yo.
But if you start saying stuff now, the tide is gonna flip on you.
Did
This is the point where you need to chill.
Yeah, because
and see how
LeBron
this
and
plays
LeVar
out.
talk. Because remember, LeVar was talking about LeBron's kid. Talking about he ain't never gonna play in my league and da da da.
I don't think-
Did
I
they
don't
ever
think
have
they
a
had
sit
that
down? You need to
conversation.
have a sit. It's kind of like when Dennis came over to play with Scotty. They had to have a discussion. Like,
That's
listen
one
to
of
play.
them-
You remember that? Like they had
Put
to
it
sit
this way.
down. Was
Yeah.
like,
Here's- here's-
That's one of them things where LeBron's people gonna talk to Lonzo's people and have that straightened out. I don't think they're going
well,
to have.
I think
I
they
agree.
need to have
I
a sit
agree.
down,
I mean,
like a father to father, man to man.
could-
If
Yeah.
I'm
Like,
LeBron,
I
I'm
think that's
not
what I
talking-
think.
I'm
There
not
could
talking
be
to
some
I'm not
level.
talking
There
to
could be
If
some
I'm
level.
LeBron, I'm not talking to him. Why?
I'm on that wave.
That's true.
I'm on
Why
that
am I
wave.
talking
It's like
to you?
I'm here and I took the shine from your son like that.
That quick. Melvin, you're from Chicago. Let's get into Kanye.
Wow. That was really direct.
I'm very
Saw him dancing with Lil Pump on Saturday Night Live not too long ago
I'm very
as a water
conflicted.
bottle.
I'm very conflicted in the sense of we know who you're gonna need to cut that out. We knew. I don't know who this guy is to keep it real with you. I haven't listened to a Kanye West song since he said that stuff about Donald Trump.
You're
Like,
such
I'm-
a
and
And he
Anytime
still,
somebody-
he still doesn't know why he's supporting him.
Say it again.
He still doesn't know why he's supporting him.
Do you
No,
know that
no,
he
no,
wore
no,
a
no,
hat
no. He
and
does.
a
He
Kaepernick
does.
and a
He does.
Kaepernick jersey at the same time?
Here's the thing. Kanye
Yeah, I
was
saw
trying
that.
to
He put
make
that combo together.
He's trying to, you know.
Kanye was trying to
playing
make the
both sides.
distinction of I like what Donald Trump can represent in terms of how he can become president in terms of how that inspires me to be like, I can do whatever I want in the world. He didn't clarify that. What he said was, I like Donald Trump. Not saying I like Donald Trump and how he became president, because that means if I want to be the owner of Disney one day, I can do it. If I want to play for the Lakers one day, I can do it because I have that belief in myself. He just said, I like Donald Trump.
The problem when you say something like that and you say, I like that Donald Trump was able to become president, well, then you're saying also that you like the fact that he was able to accomplish these things while basically crapping on other people, slandering other people.
Yes.
And that's
He
not
didn't have that
okay.
clarity
He
with
doesn't
it.
read.
He didn't have that
He doesn't
clarity
keep
with
up on current events.
Yeah.
So he just comes out.
He
He's like,
gets
who's
all the
popping
information
right?
from people around
He
him.
comes out. Who's popping right now? Oh, Trump seems to be doing this thing, and
So
he just
let me jump on
with
that
that
wave.
dragon
Plus-
spirit and all that. Not
plus-
even understanding the platform he came up on. But you're incredibly ignorant. You need to shut up with that, bro. Before you say something out of your mouth, you need to make sure you do your research.
Right. And
I'm
plus it's
tired of, like,
opposite. It's
that-
opposite of Hove and Obama. Because Hove and
Come on with it,
Obama
come
tight. So now he like, I need to be tight with somebody to be seen in that light. It's kind of like how I feel about Nicki Minaj. You already in that light. Why are you doing extra?
Yes.
We already see you as that. Now you're doing the most and it's bringing you down.
Right.
Stop doing that. Eminem, you don't need to put out another album after you put out a bad album. Just chill. You doing more to cover up what you did beforehand. Stop it. Now
know.
you diminishing what you have up
I
there.
agree with all, I agree with all
Yeah.
that there, even though Kamikaze is Brian's album of the year.
I
Yeah.
was about to say, I was like, whoa. Whoa.
Nah, because we actually talk
Wait,
about
you,
that.
you,
and,
what,
you know,
you
I
actually
don't.
think it was going to be a Freddie Gibbs album? What did you guys like from this year that's dropped so far?
Man, listen, that Black Panther soundtrack album is still dope.
Nipsey
I'm
Hussle.
still on Nipsey Hussle. I play Nipsey Hussle's album at least 4 times a week, bro. That album
that's
is
the
so...
motivation music right
Nipsey Hussle
Yeah.
is my god,
You play like
bro.
Dedication with Kendrick Lamar, and
Yeah,
Nipsey
that's
Hussle.
what-
Like, come on now.
I
There's
was
nothing. You want
Janelle
to get.
Monáe's joint is dope.
No
Janelle
album.
Monáe's album is
I don't
good.
think. I don't know
course
if
it is.
any
Shout out,
album.
shout out to Janelle
Shout
Monáe, by
out
the way.
to
She put me in her
Janelle.
Yeah,
documentary.
that's
She
right.
dope.
That's
Hey.
right. I don't know if
put
any.
my man in
I don't know if
context.
any album that came out this year, other than maybe Sky Zoo's and maybe Royce's, that starts off better than Nipsey Hussle's.
Nipsey
As
Hussle's
far as
first
those
5
that-
or 6 tracks
Yeah.
were
Oh
banging.
my god.
Yeah.
And I wasn't
my
on to
God,
him
yeah.
because Brian was like, "Yo, you need to listen to him." So then I did, and I texted Brian. I remember when I was listening to it tonight, I would listen to it like in pieces, like was walking and I was doing some food shopping, and I was like, "Yo," I was like, "Bruh, this album's is dope." And I respect dude's independent movement, so that kind of like
That's the
I like
one
that
thing
as
that
well, too.
brings it all together for me with
So
Nipsey.
you like that? What have you
Yeah,
like?
it's
What
inspiring.
have you like this year?
I mean the same thing, but I mean, shout out to Logic's new album, man.
Yo,
YSL
see,
album.
Shout out to
I heard
Logic,
it.
bro.
I was saying that.
I don't
heard
care
it,
what
yeah.
y'all say, man.
No.
Logic the bull. Man.
Yo, Logic can rap, bro.
Logic
Y'all need to
can
stop.
rap,
Y'all need to stop playing
And
with
when
Logic, bro.
Logic is over this boom bap
Y'all need-
stuff, which is my sounding like the production.
That's the logic. That's the logic that I like.
Another thing about Logic
Before
that needs
the
to be
last
noted,
2 albums.
Logic's producer 6 does not get enough
Enough
credit,
credit.
for being. He's a dope producer.
He is in sync
He
with
is
everything Logic
Yo,
wants to
it's
do.
just the sounds. Logic's album is way better than the Everybody project. It's way better than that Bobby Tarantino 2 tracks he put out.
We'll talk about. So the thing about his first, we talked about this before,
Yeah,
but like
yeah.
his first album, of course, was incredible because everybody's first album is always incredible because the thing about it, they're still connected to you, right?
Yeah.
They're still talking about things that
You know.
he just got out of it, and everybody's first album, they just got out of what you're in.
And, right.
So you're like, oh, it's real. I
and
can
then
get
they,
there.
and then they get distance from it. That's
So then what happens is by their second album, this is their lifestyle.
And Logic just got divorced and bulked up and was like, "Hey, I'm finna show y'all I'm
Yo.
back, bro."
I say this
That
all the time.
dope- that
Yo,
divorce
I
girl
gotta-
from
bro,
Logic
bro.
I
was-
forgot he got
Hey,
divorced.
yeah.
He
Look
went
at what
bald.
happened.
He
Look
went
what happened
bald,
when Nas
got
got
big.
divorced. Look what happened when Nas got divorced. And Life is Good dropped.
Yeah, we
Incredible.
talk about that. Incredible. I love the
Incredible
album.
work.
I
That
love
was
the
an
album.
incredible-
That's the first full Nas album that I listened
What
to.
are y'all
man.
trying? What are y'all trying to say?
All we saying is
Get
when you
divorced
have a
to create
no
some
when you
dope-
Hey,
have
no, brother,
when
we
you have a
saying,
break
hey,
when you have a
keep
breakup
your
you go
marriage,
through a
brother.
glow up,
Keep your marriage,
dog. Like
brother. That's all we saying. Keep your marriage, brother. Keep your marriage. We just saying
he was like,
sometimes
he's like, you saying
when
I
you
can
go through things,
said I can work for XL?
you just come out and be like, I have to go even harder. I got to do this. Say for
gotta make some
example,
sacrifices.
when Issa come in and cheat on you, you got to go Lawrence and be like, oh, I'm really
Yeah.
finna show you what's good.
And then you got finish.
Word.
You got finish Shorty like he did in the end of season.
There you
1.
go.
That's
She's
a whole another
you
thing.
seen
Yo,
that
yeah,
Lawrence
it's like,
Hive all
yo,
day,
why you say
baby.
finisher like that? Like you say you got a finisher. Like
Well, he finished that. Yeah, that was a little.
You know, yeah, you notice that. You notice like as
Yeah.
men, we have like no like intimate way of ever saying like
Yo,
having
why's
sex with a woman.
it got to be smashed?
It's always
or-
smash,
It do.
bang, trash,
It do.
bombed. Like it's all
Body.
Somebody, if a dude,
Body.
yeah, if a dude come in and be like, I made love to her, you be like, whoa. bro.
Right, like, why can I say that? Like, why,
Yeah, the thing about
why do you
I've had a dude that was
finesse
like
would be a better
pause.
word.
I'm like, hold on. You telling me being inside of a woman is pause?
Yeah, that's
Yo,
not,
the pause
that's not-
culture. This is a pause superstar over here. Pause culture is.
I've chilled on
way,
it.
yo, you're a
I've
pause
chilled on it.
superstar.
I've
Yeah.
chilled on it.
I've chilled on it as I got older.
Not
'cause
as
it's
much.
just like-
I still do it from time to time because my girl from Brooklyn and she do it all the time.
Yeah.
But there's some times where I chilled on it because that was one of the reasons me and my ex broke up because she was like, "Yo, I hate how you're toxic masculine." It's like, "Yo, bro, I just say it. It's just a habit. It ain't nothing bad."
Listen, I understand it, but it is rooted in toxic
It is. No.
masculinity,
It
though.
definitely is. It definitely is. And that's a conversation that a lot of
We
people
can
need to
get-
have that they don't want to have.
absolutely.
But yeah.
But you recognize this. I think that's dope.
Yeah,
in
so I'm
itself.
like, yo, I know that,
Yeah.
and I know that. Okay, I need to chill on it.
So wait,
because
so
I have
after
jobs.
you
I
broke
do-
with your
yeah,
ex girl,
me
you was
too.
like, yo, I got to chill on this. I got to chill.
I mean,
on
a
this
little
first
bit.
thing.
I was like, all right, she was kind of right. Like, I'm gonna calm down.
Yeah, like
Calm down.
I've
Shout
calmed
out to
down.
her though. If you ever watching this, shout out to you.
Yeah, I calmed down as I got older. All right, so everybody. So this year's been an interesting year in hip hop.
Oh yeah. So back to the Logic joint. So
yes.
the second album.
Oh my God, Big Crit dropped this year too.
That was late
Yes, that was
last
last
year.
Okay,
year.
cool. I was like, oh my
Around-
God, wait a
around-
minute, my
Yeah.
fault.
That was
My
around
fault.
when Sci-Hi
Ooh,
dropped.
yes, I was about to have a panic attack. Go ahead,
I'm
my
just
bad,
saying,
brother.
get
My
it out
bad.
system.
My
Get
bad.
it
We
out
good.
system.
We good now.
I'm
We
here
good.
for you, bro.
And we're gonna wrap up after
I'm here
this.
for
but
you.
yeah.
But like his second album and things like that. That was if that was the one that was on the spaceship and things like that.
Yeah,
That
yeah,
was
yeah.
that was cool. But then like his third one with the everybody thing, like that was mainly for like social justice. That was made for like because that was the one with the suicide song and whatnot.
Yeah.
That was one with that.
Yeah.
Like these were things that needed to be talked about, especially in the black community, and it went worldwide. It was a beautiful thing. But he also went into a very dark stage
did.
during that time. Because imagine performing that song day after day after day after day
Yeah.
after day. You're talking about suicide, bro, ending
Yeah.
your life.
Yeah.
And he has to inspire that person at the bottom
Mm-hmm.
of their barrel, and he has to bring that person up every single night. He has to bring up thousands of people every night to not want to end your life. So then he had to go through that stage. And the next two was kind of like, put some music. To me, it was like
The
kind of
Bobby
put some music
Tarantino
out.
stuff, I didn't really care.
I was like, it was a couple of songs in there, but this one, because you say that, this one he's talking about, he was like, oh, y'all must have forgot.
Oh yeah,
Y'all must have forgot that I don't consider myself as top 3 nor 2. So what's left?
Yeah.
But he's rapping.
I was like, ooh,
He's rapping.
wee.
Excellent on
wee.
this. The production's dope. I
It's
like
incredible.
it. I just want to touch something you brought up earlier.
Go ahead.
The Lupe album, because I have not spoken to you about this. I know you haven't listened to it.
no,
I gotta start it.
My
You're a-
reactors, I'm
you're
gonna
a-
get to
you're
it. I
a
promise.
Chicago guy. Here's my thing on this Lupe album.
I love that you
Okay.
travel the world, but I just don't need to be able to hear it in your tracks.
One is
I love that your culture. I love it. I love it. Like black man, go
I
do
need
it. Like I
growth,
love it.
but don't
I don't.
overdo it.
You're speaking
one,
Spanish. You're then.
I hated.
You're a
that
Jamaican
Drogas,
one.
The Drogas Light album.
Yeah, it didn't.
The album before this.
Nope.
I did not like. I never will listen to that album.
Well, just correct me if I'm wrong. Was that the one that had like the spring and then it would mix into?
No,
the different...
that's Tetsuo and Youth. That was
Okay,
the one
cool.
before
I like that one. I like
that
that one.
was cool. I like that. To get his thing. Here's my problem with this album, right? Number one, 98 minutes. Way too long. I'm 35
Good
years
God.
old. I ain't got time for that.
With a
And-
daughter.
Hold on,
yes,
Wayne.
I don't have time for that, right? Like, he knows how I feel about long albums. Two, the point that Kyle brings up, which I think is fair, Lupe had a loose concept on this album, but then is all over the place. There's a song that opens up where he's rapping in Spanish, then he's in Jamaican patois, then he's on different things. But towards the end of this album, there are some songs that are actually really good, and it sounds like some Food and Liquor.
Yeah.
Lupe, very lyrical, good production. I think it's a King Nas song, Stack That Cheese. There's some good songs at the
Stack
end of the
that
album. The
cheese.
problem is,
They're at the end, so you already
at
turned the
end,
album off.
You've already been like,
Look,
you
and-
probably got through the first 7 and you're like, The end of the album's really good. I just don't think people are going to sit there for it. You know why I listened to it and stayed through it? Because I was moving through, traveling on a flight coming back from South
Okay.
Carolina. So I had all this time.
That makes sense.
As I was
Yeah,
moving
that
and
makes
sitting on a
sense.
plane. But
I'm
if I
thinking about
wasn't
that
there,
right now, just as like doing
I'm-
a reaction
I'm
channel.
home.
I'm not sitting there for
That's
98
what I'm
minutes.
saying.
And
I'm-
then talking in between. Hey, Lupe, you got me messed up.
and it's
bro.
like 8
No, and
interludes.
look, only 2.
You got to play a video game in order to listen to that. Like you have
what
to
I'm
play. You have to play like 2K. You have to
2K,
play
it has
around
to-
like 12-minute
I can't.
quarters. It
But
has
I
to be.
have it-
That's real rap.
I
Like
have
you
it
got to
with
play about
little-
2
And
games.
watch all the cutscenes.
Real rap.
Right.
You
I
gotta
have it
play
with
the
Lil
whole
Wayne
thing.
too. I have it with Lil Wayne too. His
Ain't that
album's
like 23
87
songs?
minutes.
I
20
cannot
songs. It's like,
wait.
other than Big Crit and Royce the 5'9's 20-track albums, both of which were great, can't do long albums.
Here's my
So
thing.
they're-
When you're up at that point,
Why?
do you need
And
to
Yes.
Lil Wayne,
Yes.
Lil Wayne.
It's a reason when it comes
But
to actually
Lil
like
Wayne-
Grammys and the numbers and things like that. That's the reason why like Post Malone's album was really long. That's why Drake's album was really long.
Yeah.
Chris Brown's album was
But-
really long.
but the
It's
Carter
way that the numbers
Five-
go into it.
The Carter 5 have been in the works for
But
years.
If that's
So
the case,
he-
then why Bruno Mars out here flaming with 9
9
songs?
tracks.
Why Hove out here getting
10
Hove put
songs,
like
11 songs.
14 on the
With the
bonus,
bonus.
and 10,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
but
Hove out here
you're
getting
talking about-
nominations.
you're talking about
Yeah.
the top.
But why don't people understand?
Nah,
this?
But you're
Freddie
in
was
terms
10.
in terms of like hip hop
Yeah.
people, I would say these people that we mentioned are have the capability
You
of
said
being
Bruno
there.
Mars and hip hop.
Freddie was 10.
Hey man,
Freddie
listen,
get-
that Jack Swing album was dope.
Look, I'm
Bruno
trying
Mars
to
album
help
was
you
fire.
out.
Yeah,
Yeah, but it's not hip hop.
I feel you. I feel you.
Black,
But it's got-
Black
it's-
Milk's
it-
album wasn't that
Yes,
long.
Black Milk's album's good. It's one of the better albums this year too.
Yeah.
I just don't understand why
Underground for
hip hop sometimes people don't understand less is sometimes
Less
is
is
more.
gonna be more.
And some of the best albums that I'm sure we all love are some of the tightest albums.
Unless you come.
Oh, hold on. Here we go.
Unless
So,
you Kanye.
just want to be able to throw this out, and I don't care how y'all feel about him because he's one of the greatest of this time.
Oh,
Anderson
God.
Paak
Oh, brother.
is
Oh, no. We here.
Anderson
Beverly.
Paak.
Yes.
We are
Ander-
so
it is
excited
a,
for
it
that,
is a
brother.
countdown. Anderson Paak
I can't wait
is
for
dropping
Friday.
the album, and Kendrick Lamar's gonna be on that.
Hold on. I thought Malibu was the album of the year of 2016.
Oh my god! Like
2016
And,
it came out?
and Q-Tip is
Malibu.
producing. Dre production is on this.
stop it, bro.
I'm
It's
so
going.
excited.
I'm losing
I
it.
haven't
I'm
fully
losing it
listened to
Wednesday
Malibu.
night, bro.
You
When does it come out?
It comes out on the fourth.
Fully I've
Okay.
heard like three
First, second,
songs
third.
on
Yeah, so
Malibu.
Wednesday night, I'm gonna try to
So
do.
it'll
midnight.
already be out by the time this episode goes out, which means
Yes.
we're all gonna be.
Yeah, I'm already losing
Check
my
my
mind
reaction
now.
channel.
Yes.
Like internally,
I will be.
Oh
I'm
yes
losing
sir.
my
Here we
mind.
The
go.
crib. Oh man.
Yes sir.
Anderson
So,
Paak.
so everybody's decided. Anything
I
else?
don't know. Yo, should I be sipping on a Modelo or a Corona at this time? Please let me know.
For Anderson Paak's album?
Oh, I'm gonna be vibing.
Get
Oh,
your
what
Blue
should
Moon.
be your drink of choice?
Corona
Blue
or the
Moon.
Modelo? It's brews this night. All right, we already got it set up.
Ah,
Modelo's
man,
or Corona?
I gotta go with the Modelo.
Come
That's
on
how
now.
I'm doing.
Should I do the glass or should I do the can?
You can't go with the can.
Do the glass.
You
bro.
ain't on the beach.
Do the glass.
Bro,
Bro.
that-
You gonna go that
can't
deep?
do
Do
the
the
can.
glass, dog.
Nah, man.
Yo,
you
he
can't
I
took,
was like taking it
took
back
that
by-
can mad offensive. Did you say a can? We drink at the can. Can?
Nah, you can't do the can. You can't- Yo, if somebody else brings a can of beer, you gotta pour it into the glass. You can't do the can in the crib. Yeah, really.
That's
Don't
just
just-
like really.
I'm just here to be myself.
So I'm saying you could be yourself. I don't.
I
do
just
cans in the crib.
noticed that it was cheaper, and it came with a little more.
Swing the mic that way.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm just saying when you get to the crib, you gotta pour it in the glass.
So I'll keep it in the black bag and the brown bag when I come into your crib.
Yo,
Baby,
absolutely.
baby.
Don't
Alright,
be
there
pouring
we
the can
go.
out in front of me.
I got you, bro. I got you.
It's lit.
I got you.
And it's a
This is
Pac listening party.
All right, man.
Yo,
we,
real
we
rap.
gotta get that done.
Real
Hey,
rap.
we all
And stream it.
We are out of time, though.
you go.
We are out of time. You guys have been great, man.
Yeah,
Thank
we went
you,
over.
man.
I appreciate y'all,
We
for real.
went a lot longer than we
Appreciate
thought we
it.
would.
No, we
This
got-
is great.
appreciate
Thank
we
you.
gotta get you guys back up on here.
Oh,
For
no,
sure.
That's
We'll
what
come
I-
Yo,
back.
bro, we all gonna be rising. We always gonna have something to talk about,
Talk
bro.
about
There's,
it.
there's
Talk about it.
always
Yeah,
so much
for
stuff
real.
we haven't even talked about.
That's real rap.
So we got, and you guys are a package deal. Y'all have to come together.
Yeah,
Sure.
That's cool,
This
bro.
is probably our
Listen,
longest
we here.
episode too. I think.
We here for it.
So that's
Yeah.
that lets you know how that was flowing.
Yeah, we've flown
My
good.
man.
We
Hell
like
yeah.
we like the vibe. Just
Hey.
just no Modelo's in cans.
Yeah, okay, gotcha.
And
Yeah.
I don't drink, so-
Modelo Negro or
Straight-
the regular?
Negro.
The
bro.
yeah.
Negro.
Hey,
I see you
he
popping
over here
in
like,
there with the
hey.
That's how you cook. I don't even mess with the regular. Don't bring
Ooh,
that in my house.
Don't bring what?
Don't
About
bring
the regular Modelo's.
Oh,
Hey,
nah.
Be like, I brought extra. Be
Leave.
like, no,
I'm
you
like,
can
nah,
take them
you
extra
take
ones
those
outside.
back. Yeah, take
Take
those
the extra ones out back.
I'm a Blue Moon guy myself.
I'm a Blue
so-
Moon guy too. I do like Blue Moon.
Yeah, I
So,
do mess with that, too.
I mess with that. All right, guys. So this is episode 46. We named this the Herm Edwards episode.
That's right. Yeah.
We
Hey,
want to
got
Here we
one.
go. Play
thank
it on the
Melvin Taylor. Remember, you can check him out, a host of the Alternative with Melvin Taylor. Also, check out his Writing with Respect magazine. And Kyle Johnson, creative extraordinaire.
Thank you, man.
KDJ Perspective is his
go.
company.
We're gonna have
He's
the lower
doing it.
thirds under your name.
yeah.
during
Melvin
the
Taylor,
episode.
aye, baby.
There you go. So
Hey.
these guys came and vibed with us. For the two of them and Brian Fonseca, I'm
Yeah.
Dexter Henry. Until next time, we'll see y'all on the Ain't Hard to Tell podcast.
Talk to him.
Hey.